Hello everyone, good morning. I hope you all will be safe and sound. As in the previous video, we have discussed about the in the civics. Before it, we have discussed in the history. Now we are going to start. We are going to continue with the same fourth chapter that is about tribal decos and the vision of the golden age. Mainly in this one chapter, we will come to know about the tribals, about the tribe groups of India, mainly from the different places. Okay, and we will also discuss here about the Dikus. Dikus mean to say the outsiders, and as well as what about the vision of their golden age. So, without further ado, let's have a discussion what they have given here. So, they have started the chapter by giving an example about one of the tribal people. Okay, so let's see what they have given. In 1895, a man named Virsa was seen roaming the forests and villages of Chota Nagpur in Jharkhand. So they have given the example of one of the tribal chief named Birsa Munda. Later on, you will come to know more about the Birsa Munda. So he was seen, he was just roaming here and there in the forest areas and the villages of Chota Nagpur in Jharkhand. The Chota Nagpur, that is a plateau mainly in the border of Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh. Then people said he has miraculous powers. He could cure all the diseases and he and multiply grains. So whoever the people at that time, the tribal people, mainly they believed that he had the miraculous powers. He had some miracles, mean to say some unique powers. He could cure all the diseases, whatever the diseases were being spread at that time. So he could cure all these diseases and multiply grains. Birsa himself declared the god had appointed him to save his people from trouble. Even the Birsa Munda, he just declared himself the god had appointed him to save his people from trouble. So he just made the believe on the people he had appointed by the God to just do the welfare and to just save all the tribal people of his area and make them free from any kind of the fear and trouble and free them from all the slaveries of Dikus, that outsider. And as well as he told him that if any kind of the outsiders, the Dikus, if they had made the tribes slave, so he could make them free from them. Then soon thousands began following Birsa. Thousands of the tribal people, they begin to follow to this particular tribal chief they named Birsa, believing that he was Bhagwan, that is God, and had come to solve all their problems. So very soon, many of the tribals they just begin to follow him, and as well as they believing on him that he was a god and he can just solve whatever the problems were being faced by them at that time. Then Birsa was born in a family of Mundas. Meant Munda is a tribal community. So he just born in this family, a tribal group that lived in Chota Nagpur. Okay. Then, but his followers included other tribals of the region, Santals and Orans. So, as he belonged from the Munda community, Munda tribal group in the Chota Nagpur, but his followers, whoever his followers were there, they were other tribal groups, other tribes as well from the different regions like Santals, tribal people, and as well as the Orans. All of them in different way was unhappy with the changes that were experiencing and the problems they were facing under British rule. Why these people were just following him and these tribals, the region has been given. All of these tribals, they were living a life and they were experiencing their life and the problems that they were facing under British rule. As we all know that we were under the colonial rule, we were under the British rule, and whatever the problem were being faced by them under the British rule, so these tribes were not happy and they were leading a difficult life under British rule. Then their familiar way of life seemed to be disappearing. Whatever they were just living their life, they were just familiar with their early life. It seemed to be disappear. It it was seeming by them. It felt by them. It will be disappear very soon. Their livelihood were under great threat, and their religion appeared to be in danger. So they felt that their livelihood, whatever their livelihoods were there from where they were managing their 2 square meals, that was under threat, under danger, under fear, and their religion appeared to be danger. Then what happened? See, what problems did Birsa set out to resolve? And whatever the problems were there, how the Birsa set out some things over there to resolve these all the problems. Who were the outsiders being referred to as Dikus, and how did they enslave the people of the region? So here that it is told and it is being told that whatever the problems, that is whoever the outsiders, the Dikus, and what these people just done over there, and what was happening to the tribal people under the British as well. How did their lives change? These are some of the questions you will read about in this one chapter. Whatever the questions, whatever they have asked there, and what the problems were being faced by them under the Britishers, and how their life had changed, and these all the issues we will come to know in this one chapter. You may read about tribal societies last year. You might have that in the previous class. You might have knowing and you might be remembering that we have already discussed about tribal societies in last year. And most tribes had customs and rituals that were very different from those laid down by Brahmins. So most of the tribes who used to live at that time, they had their own customs and traditions. Means they used to follow their own rules and regulation. Their customs and their tradition was different, and their rituals that were very different, which were made by the Brahmins at that time. Okay, then these societies also did not have the sharp social divisions that were characterized of caste societies. And at that time, as we all know that the Indian society, it was means the social divisions were made on the basis of the caste. But these tribes, they did not have any kind of, means hardly you will find any kind of the divisions, but they didn't have any kind of the sharp divisions on the basis on their society that were based on caste societies. All those who belong to the same tribe thought of themselves as sharing common ties of kinship. So here they have given all those who belong to the same to the same tribe. Okay, they thought of themselves as sharing common ties of kinship. Whatever the same tribal people were there from the same community, they used to share their all the things with each other. However, this did not mean that there were no social and economic differences within tribes. So, although that they used to share their ideas, they used to share their customs and traditions with the same community, but it didn't mean that there were no social and economic differences within the tribes. There may be some, there might be some kind of the social differences, some kind of the economic differences among the tribes as well. And if you see the right side, one peak they have shown here, mainly the peak that the one tribal society who used to live in Odisha mainly. Okay, so they have shown how they are just crossing the river for selling and for just keeping the things over their head, and moving towards the market. You can see how these people used to live at that time. Then, after, how did tribal groups live? How these tribal people they used to live in their habitats during that time. By the 19th century, tribal people in different parts of India were involved in a variety of activities. So they have given by the 19th century, many of the tribal communities, many of the tribes in the different part of India, as we will see from the different parts of India, how many tribes they belong, they involve in a variety of activities. Different kind of the activities were being done by them in their places. If we see, let me show you the map how the different tribes they used to belong from the different places. So here the map has been given, and you can see here how the different tribes from the different places of our country. If you go through the at the northern side, so in the Himachal Pradesh, Gaddis and Wen Gujjars. Okay, in Uttarakhand, Bhotiyas. Okay, like in Rajasthan, they have given Phil. Okay, these of the tribes who belong from the different places, and different kind of the activities were performed by them in their respective areas. Then after, they have given here about the tribes, the different kind of the activities as as we have told and we have discussed, they were involved. So they have given some of the tribals, they were jhum cultivators. Mean to say, the jhum cultivator mean to say here, that is shifting cultivators who used to do the cultivation shift wise. And in the previous classes, we have read more about the shifting cultivation, and as well as we will have a discussion in this one as well about the shifting cultivation. Okay, that we will discuss in the next video. Okay.